Well, after an unlikely promotion, it's time to get ourselves ready and prepared for life in the National League. What is up, guys? Matthew here, and welcome to another transfer special here as we head into Season 3 of our FM24 Road to Glory Journeyman Career Mode with Darlington. Of course, a big thank you for all the support so far, and if you are new to the channel, this is a fantastic jumping on point. And as I always say, if you are new, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see not only a Journeyman Career Mode with Darlington for the time being, or we've also got a Project Boro Career Mode with my club Boro in the Premier League currently. If you're excited for either of them, then please do hit the subscribe button and also smash a like on this video because it really helps the video out and it is a great time for people to jump on board. Now, we are obviously here and it is time to get the squad ready for competing in the National League, and it's safe to say we've had quite a turnover of players. Now, finances, I think we've actually been dealt quite a nice transfer budget, or wage budget. I've pretty much got rid of all of the transfer budget and gave us a wage budget of £13,329 currently. And we are only committed to currently spending £8,865. So that gives us around £4,500 a week in wages. And some of that is already in the pipeline and has already been spent. A lot of it went on extending the contracts of some players. Obviously, quite a few players got released as well. So here are the players who we have opted to let go this summer. So a couple did not want to sign new contracts. The first was Andrew Nelson, who of course has been a wonderful servant for Darlington. He was here, he was our top goal scorer when we come through the door. He's been here for 4 full seasons and, you know, got a total of 25 goals in the last 2 seasons. A fantastic servant, but he didn't want to sign a new deal, had no interest, so we've let him go. Will Hatfield, of course, we were trying to get rid of him all of last season. 33, had no part to play in our team, and, you know, his contract finally expired. Harry Perrett was one who I was a bit up and down about letting go, but to save on wages, I've opted to let him go, and we can upgrade in that position. He was only there for the whole of last season, and overall I think did pretty well. He was the toughest one to let go, I believe. Nathan Newall, he's also gone, another fantastic servant, a great left back last season, another one who provided us with plenty of assists and did really well. And I was quite upset about this one, Frankie Ealing. He was only here for barely a season and didn't want to sign a new deal. So yeah, he was a really, really good right winger, and he could also play at right back. Didn't want to sign on. So 3 players who we regretfully let go in: Perrett, Newall, and I guess Nelson, who did want to leave. Hatfield and Ealing, yeah, they players who didn't want to be here. Free transfers. We accept that. We move on. So this is where we're at in terms of the squad plan, and this is where we want to look at improving in terms of getting the squad up to National League level. So George Shelvey, I think, is already 100% a goalkeeper ready to step up to the National League, so I'm absolutely fine there. We are needing a right back though. We do not have any currently, so that's definitely somewhere we need to obviously bring in 1 or 2 players. Harry Wright is still here, but we want a first choice left back through the door. He's still a very capable backup, I believe, and has fantastic potential. Centre back, of course, we've got Jack Leckie and Tom Leake, the 2 centre backs who we brought in last season. Sadly, Josh Cunwall, was it Josh? No, Sumnall it was, didn't want to re-sign or extend his loan, so we are going to need a centre-back as well. So pretty much across the back line, we're needing bodies. In the centre of midfield, we have got CJ Clark still through the door. Obviously, he's a player who was fantastic for us last season. Ben Little can also play there, but we've brought in this guy, Thomas Hill. He come in on trial and is a National League ready player, and has the potential to be a leading National League player. So he is someone who we've brought in. I think he could be the only transfer that we've made so far. We were looking at a couple of players who we wanted to bring in. I'm guessing he'll be on last season's then, won't he? So yeah, Thomas Hill is the only player we've brought in thus far who we got on trial. There was a few others who've sadly opted to go elsewhere to teams further up the league. But one player who we have brought in is Thomas Hill, and like I say, he's ready, he's fit for the level, he can play on either side as well, he can play a bit deeper, he can fill in across the entire midfield space and right back too, so a fantastic signing there, only on £525 a week as well, so it's a fantastic deal if you ask me. So we're not too bad there, maybe another body there as well, but Ben Little could play there. And then in front, of course, Caden Kelly is our star attacking midfielder. Could we improve there? Maybe, but of course we want to keep developing James Harvey as well, and even Thomas Hill can play there too. We were looking at this guy, Mackenzie Hunt. He would have been an absolutely unbelievable attacking midfielder, but he did turn us down to go to Gillingham. On the right, Michael Spellman, he absolutely is going to remain, and I think can step up to this level. Good National League quality player. Harry Green as well, another one who I think can step up without any problem. CD Sinyan, another player we want to develop as well. You could say exactly the same for the other side with Green and Spellman there. Maybe we want to get another player as for depth. But, we do have youngsters too. And, of course, up front, we do need a backup for Thompson. And you're wondering, where is Thompson? Well, there he is. I'll move him up. We did have a little bit of a to and fro with him over a new contract. He wanted 1.3k, which is by far the most we've ever paid a player in our time here. But, simply put, are we going to find a striker of his ability, of his wage, who we can rely upon to be probably one of the best in the league? He's still here, he wants to stay, he's not getting his head turned by bigger clubs, so we're happy to keep him on for another season, see where things go, and then, hopefully he can have a good season, and having a striker of that quality at that level, I think will help us hopefully get the goals we need to stay up and maybe even push on a little bit further this season. And in terms of transfers that are currently in progress, we do have one. We are in the 30th of June, so loads of players are going to become free agents very, very quickly, but we've jumped on this kid, Marco Romano, who we've followed for quite a while. He was at Genoa last season, who are in Serie A, and he's a 19-year-old Italian winger. Little bit exotic, this one, I'm not going to lie, but he's good Vanarama national. Maybe he's hit his potential. He's pretty much on par with Max Thompson and Michael Spellman. He's probably better, so would be an improvement on either side, I think. And we are looking to obviously improve and get a bit of depth on either wings, so I think he could be a fantastic signing. But yeah, it's the 30th of June. We've got all of July pretty much to scout players who most likely are all going to be free signings, get a few in on trial, try and bolster the squad in as many areas as possible. I dare say, unlike last season, there aren't any players that we're pushing out the door in order to fund these moves. I think we're going to just be signing players from here on in. I can't see anybody leaving. So yeah, we know exactly what we've got. We know exactly the budget available to us. So let's go and spend it. Okay, so our first signing is finally through the door on the 11th of July, no less. It's been a bit of a slow burner, this one. We've got loads of trials ongoing, a couple of bids dotting about, but we are delighted to welcome Marco Romano in on a £525 a week. As I say, he's only previously played in Italy, and I think could offer us something a little bit different. He likes to play on the left-hand side, and he's pretty much up to the standard of player that we would want at the club already, to be fair, for the level that we're going into. Only £525 a week as well. I mean, is he going to be our first choice? Maybe he's ahead of Harry Green in that left wing position, but coach report, he's a good National League player, and he has the potential to be Sky Bet League 2. So maybe if we play him enough, he'll grow as a player, and if we don't get up to Sky Bet League 2, maybe we can sell him to a team who are up there and make a profit that way. So yeah, first signing in, it's a permanent one on a free. Marco Romano is through the door. In exciting news as well, it's like a new signing. James Harvey has agreed to sign a full deal with us. So he was obviously on a youth contract coming towards the end and would have been available on a free, and it looks like our director of football has just gone ahead and signed him up, so I'm glad he's noticed and got him signed down. £200 per performance, I believe. Wage is not applicable, so what sort of contract is he on? A non-contract. That might still have him at risk of leaving. I wonder if we maybe have to go in and tie him down. That could be a good idea. Or maybe not. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one then. Not too sure how that one will work, but regardless, he's still here, and I hope it stays that way. Okay, so signing number 2 is in midway through July, and it is a backup striker for Max Thompson. We've signed Josh Hines, I believe, from Warrington for £2,600 is the transfer fee. He comes in, I believe, on a contract of £900 a week. And we've got him as a regular starter. He wanted to be an important player, which is the next step up, and I dropped him down just because we had this issue last season, of course, with having 3 strikers who all wanted to start every game. But he can also start on the left, he can start on the right, and he offers something a bit different to Max Thompson in the fact that he's more of a target man. He's got really good strength, jumping reach, and was, I believe, the 3rd highest goal scorer in the National League North last season. So he's a decent player for this level. He is close to his full potential, despite being, I believe, only 22, which is a surprise. But he had a good season last year with Warrington. 32 goals he scored in 46 appearances. So I think he is someone who can make the step up. Hopefully that step is going to be a successful one with us. And we've got some depth up front, which is awesome. So now we can bring Josh Hines in, and suddenly it's looking pretty good up front. You know, it's a bit more balanced, I think, maybe from what we had last season. But still plenty of money to spend. We're still, $2,000 underneath our wage budget, and that's with committed spending, with some of the deals that we've dropped in front of some of the players. So I think so far so good. Well, here's a bit of different news. Obviously, I don't know if you guys remember at the end of last season, there were plans to extend Blackwell Meadows, and it was going to take 2 months, and it's been completed. So there is an extension of the ground's terracing. An extra 500 supporters can now come and watch the boys, and that accommodates up to nearly 4,000 fans, which I think is pretty awesome. Featuring 588 seats with terracing for an additional 3,410 fans. So the club's objective of expanding their stadium is finally being realised, as this was something that was very exciting to me when I first joined the club. I really liked that. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. If I can actually manage to click the team and the club. Their facilities. Is there a way we can have a proper look at the ground? I don't remember where that is. Yeah, not sure, but facilities-wise, we've extended the stadium. Hopefully it'll bring in more fans, hopefully it'll bring in more revenue, and I believe we might be able to have a little look and compare that to the other grounds at our level. So, it keeps us as the smallest ground in the National League. I was hoping we might have jumped up a couple of places, but we are a few seats behind Scarborough and South Shields. But it's a fully grass, it's a fully grass ground, which is better than the synthetic crap that a couple of grounds have. But it's great to see that the club is moving into the direction that it wants to, long-term future as well. Absolutely awesome. So good to see that happening. Got a third signing through the door, and you might be wondering why we've bought a goalkeeper. Well, he is a young goalkeeper with ridiculous potential. Theo Avery. He, at the moment, is Vanarama National League North or South Standard, but he could potentially be Sky Bet League 2. So he's a perfect backup to George Shelvey, because it looks like Tommy Taylor is going to be out the door. Offers have been made by numerous clubs, and it looks like one of them, I'm hoping, will take him. So that'll be £525 a week off of the wage bill, and we've essentially brought in a brand new goalkeeper for only £375. So we're saving £150 a week there, getting rid of an old goalkeeper, bringing in a young an upcoming goalkeeper who very much could be the future after George Shelvey, which I think is very, very exciting. And yeah, we're cracking on. It's been slow. It's been such a slow-moving window. Trials coming in, going out, bids coming in. They're opting to go elsewhere. It's frustrating. But at the moment, we've just got a goalkeeper in. We've got a right back in the process of joining, hopefully. He's obviously got bids from other clubs though. But George Gatau, he's a very good right back for this level. He's just been released by the Boro. We've got a good couple of centre-backs who some have turned us down, some hopefully won't. Ben Wadley joined us, their National League standard, on really low wages. And a left-back, Lewis Boutroid, who we're hoping to bring in because essentially we don't still have a right-back. We need a starting left-back. Another centre-back would be nice. Attacking areas were absolutely fine, I feel. Midfield, maybe one more. But it's across the back line where we desperately need depth and we're just struggling to get the players through the door at the moment. So, yeah, I'm hoping them deals will come to a close, whether it's good or bad, so we can just draw a line under them. But, yeah, lots of committed spending because of the deals we've submitted, but we've still got lots of room to manoeuvre. So, yeah, these deals are taking forever to come through, and we've got another bunch of trials coming to an end in a few days' time. So, we will get there. It's just taking absolutely forever. Okay, well, we've had an outgoing and an incoming. Taylor has finally left. He's another one who we've been kind of wanting off the books for the last season. And yeah, he leaves now. Obviously, I'm relieved because we've brought in a replacement goalkeeper. So I'm glad that that deal didn't fall through. He's off to Chorley, which does free up £525 a week of our wage budget, which is awesome. And we have a new signing. It's another midfielder. Because I looked at our midfielders and I thought we needed a bit more, maybe in attack. You know, we've got Hill, CJ Clark, Little, who, you know, as good as Little is, maybe he's slightly behind the standard required to start every game. And possibly it's fair to say, you know, with CJ Clark, who I'd like to hope would step up, Thomas Hill, who we've brought in as a first choice, we need someone to compete with Caden Kelly up into the attacking midfield position, because essentially a lot of their midfielders are now potential National League standard as opposed to being National League standard. So I thought we could bolster that, and we have signed Isaac Fletcher, who's come in from Middlesbrough, was released by Middlesbrough. Looked a lot better on the initial scout reports, if I'm honest, but is in and around the same sort of level as Caden Kelly and will provide good competition, and signed as a fringe player. So it's good that we've got him in. It gives us a little bit more in midfield. We can rotate the midfield three, of course, which is awesome. We're absolutely done in that area, undoubtedly now. And yeah, it's good to get another body in. We're just desperately trying to bolster the back line. We need another centre back, we need full backs, and every single one who we try and sign leaves and goes somewhere else. I was really hyped about getting this guy in. Gatau, he's went to Notts County, I believe. And we've had so many centre backs in who've been top quality, who have opted to not join us. This guy, I've offered him a contract what feels like 25 years ago. Obviously, big clubs have come in for him. He's wanted by, you know, plenty of Football League sides. Carlisle have come in. I'm worried we might lose him to them. Lewis Boutroid, we've had a bid in for him at left back for absolutely ages. He will come in first choice with Harry Wright behind him. I'm hoping he'll sign, but if not, Kieran Burton is another one who could possibly step in as our first choice left back, who can also play at centre back. So that is awesome. We've got plenty cooking there. It's right back. It's right back. We're just struggling so much. We've got loads of players in on trial, none of which look that good. We have got a few players in who we've scouted who we might have to bite the bullet and buy, because essentially we need not just one right back, we need a number of right backs, and at the moment we're getting quite close to the season, and I dare say we're a little behind where I'd want us to be in terms of our progress transfer wise. We are not panicking. We're trying to just scramble together what we can at the moment. We've we've been turned down by quite a lot. A lot of players so far this season. So we've got about 20 more players in on trial, all of which are right backs. So I'm hoping we might find one or two hiding in there somewhere. But if we go into our shortlist, yeah, plenty of players here who we've tried going in for. I might go in for this kid, Tariq Gidari. He's a wing back, only 2.5 stars. I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that we might not be able to get a National League standard right back unless we go out and actually buy one, which, yeah, is going to be tough. I'd love Blaine Rowe, for example, but he's going to be a regular starter for South Shields, who of course have just come up with us as well. So, yeah, all these boys who are the top right backs are with a club. Gidary is maybe the best one that is out there. There's Harry Perrett. I mean, do we go back with the tail between our legs? Maybe. I don't know. But it's a tough market out there. And I'm sorry to say we are struggling a little bit right now to get the right players in. Well, we might have a problem. I questioned the contract James Harvey signed earlier. And I had reason to, because a week later, Hull have approached him and he wants to leave. Now, we've got lots of depth in midfield, so it's not like losing him would be a disaster. But he wants over £1,000 a week. And as great as he is, and I mean, I love him, he's an absolute wonder kid. I can't warrant giving him possibly the second highest wage in the team when we've got so many midfielders ahead of him. There's so much interest. It looks like he might be off for nothing, essentially, because the contract that he wants us to sign him on with is absolutely huge. And I mean, I don't think now is the right time for him to leave. He's obviously got so much room to improve potential-wise, but we've got Thomas Hill, whose potential is just as much. A lot of the players who are here, their potential is just as much. And it's devastating because he is such a star. But the contract that he wants, I don't think is reasonable when we need the money to basically put that money elsewhere. You know, 1.1k would take us over our current committed spend. Obviously, we're not spending that much, but we've got £2,500 a week that we are trying to spend on lots of players. We've even got a transfer offer in for a right back. So this is a horrible, sentimental, you know, I don't want to let him go because he obviously played such a part in us getting up. But his agent seems to be wanting a lot. We might have to let James Harvey leave, which is devastating. Peterborough have followed it up. Yeah, it's a shame, but it's the right thing to do. Okay, so we do have a signing in, and it's one of the players who I actually went in for, more so at left back. I mean, I'd still love to get Lewis Boutroid through the door if he wants to hurry up and make his mind up. But, yeah, he's another centre-back as well. So, he's a squad player. He adds depth, I guess, at centre-back, where we needed depth. Let's not pretend we didn't. So, we can get him up there into competition with Lecky and Leek, which is awesome and does make me feel a bit better about our centre-back situation. In fact, he's arguably the best centre-back now at the team and bolsters that area. But he's also capable of playing at left-back. So we might have stumbled across a decent signing here, more so for versatility than anything else. But now our centre-backs are up to 2.5 star, which is good. I mean, our team average is still low because we need full backs, and I'm struggling so much to get them. Yeah, you know, there he is. He can play a left back as well, so we're gonna put him as the first choice left back, which obviously isn't going to be the case. But yeah, it's good that we've got him through the door. We've just come across a good youngster, Jimmy Sinclair, who's a right back, who is going to be on a very low paying contract, but could be a bit of depth at right back. We still need a starting right back. That's the problem we've got. Lewis Boutroid could be the starting left back with High in behind. Ben Ward is an absolute quality centre back at this level, and I'd be overjoyed if he decided to sign with us, but he's taking forever. And the transfer offer we did put in for the right back from Spennymoor, he just flat out said he didn't want to come here. So yeah, we are entering the final few days of July, and we're still struggling a little bit, but we've got another centre back / left back through the door, which is good depth in that position, and I'm hoping I'll have more good news for you guys. It's just blow after blow after blow after blow after blow. Ben Ward has finally made his choice. That is to go to Carlisle. And Boutroid, who I had so much excitement, and I thought he'd sign. He's gone to Stevenage. So as it stands, yeah, we've got Jimmy Sinclair incoming. And we've got our opening game in the National League in less than a week. So it's safe to say this isn't going well at all. The number of players who have turned us down is crazy, and there are still gaps all over the team, especially at the back. It's not like we've got the worst team in the world, but we've not got a team that's anywhere near where I would expect it or hope for it to be. So it's not like deadline days around the corner. Obviously, the transfer window at this level, I believe, I don't even know if there's a deadline day in the National League. It might just be Football League, and this will roll all the way around to, is it March? But you want your squad ready for the opening game of the season, or I do anyway. And yeah, as it stands, it's been a real struggle. Well, finally, we have some good news. A player who has opted to join us, the youngster Jimmy Sinclair, who was the only standout of the last bunch of trials that we had in, has opted to join us at right back. Now, the idea is he probably isn't the starting right back. He's going to be depth there, but he's got fantastic potential. And is 2.5 stars. So you know what, for an 18-year-old, I think could do a job. That's the main thing. So I'm glad that he's in. I'm glad that he's there. It's a body in at the end of the day. So we're still trying. We're still plugging away. I've opted to not bother with free agents as much because we've got so much room to work with wage budget wise, and all the free transfers are leaving us and going somewhere else. So I am opting to drop a couple of transfer bids in there for a few players in and around our level, which hopefully won't have as much competition as what we're getting from the free agents. So we're going with, I'm just going to say Easton Hughes. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he's a wing. He's a right back for Spennymoor, for Scarborough, who can play on both sides. They are asking us for a bit more money than what we maybe want to pay due to our rivalry with them, but he's someone who can play on both sides and is up to the standard. We've got Rio Adebisi, who we've dropped a transfer bid in. I believe we might have to actually respond to that. Yeah, we do. Oh my god, they want so much money. That's probably not going to happen. And then we did drop a bid in for another free transfer, Kane Sykes, who's been on our shortlist for a while. Again, I'm hoping we're going to be the only ones in there and we'll be able to get him in, and he will take our centre-back standard up to a National League level, I would like to say, with potential. But it's, yeah, we're trying free agents, we're trying transfers, we're trying this and that and the other to try and gather a squad together. Bad news is James Harvey he's left. He's gone. It's a sad day. He's gone into Hull's under 18s, and look at the value they've stuck on him. I mean, what a player he maybe could have been. What a dream season he's had. And it's a shame we didn't have him tied down to a contract, or we couldn't get him tied down, because we could have sold him for a fee. But the money he wanted didn't fit within our wage structure. So we've had to wave goodbye to the best player who's come through the academy in the time that I've been here. So that's a real shame. But we're nearly there. We're nearly at the opening day of the season. So, yeah, fingers crossed some good news might appear from out of nowhere. Okay, so we've got a left back through the door. He's there again for depth, possibly. Yeah, it's not the target that we, our main target that we're going after, but he's someone who can, provide competition there. Kevin Boro comes in. He can play up and down the left-hand side, so it's a bit more depth in that position. He's a leading North and South player, does have potential to get up to the National League, but it's simply just to try and get a few more bodies through the door. We are going to try and loan in Gatow, who we were turned down by earlier, but he's went to Notts County only to be a fringe player. So I thought, well, let's see if you want to come to us anywhere. Kane Sykes is also in there potentially, and I'm not able to adjust the transfer budget because Notts County seem willing to discuss it, but the board will not let us go that far up with his wages. We have to drop it down a bit, which is annoying. I'm hoping I can adjust that, because they seem like they definitely want £750 a week. But yeah, we'll see. We're only just over our budget, but we've got transfer budget we can slide down to rectify that. So we'll be able to afford his loan. It's just quite annoying that we have to only pay 90% of it at the moment. So we'll make that offer, and I'm hoping I'll be able to adjust that and maybe get a right back through the door. But as it stands on the eve of the season, job security is secure with the board. The supporters are up to a B, actually, which doesn't happen very often. I'm quite surprised they're that happy. And the dressing room atmosphere is very good. Managerial support is good as well. So we've got the support of the boys, finally. It's only took us 1.5 seasons to get there. And it looks like we are here for the beginning of the season. I think we're pretty much here. We're still desperately scrambling around. Why can't I adjust that? That's so annoying. But we have got a centre back through the door. Yes! Oh, that's a relief. We needed someone of that extra quality, and Kane Sykes has joined us. He has accepted. Finally, a defender has chose to come here and not somewhere else. He was at the Boro. He's opted to come to Darlington, and it's just good to see a player of real quality come through the door. He's a decent National League standard defender, has the potential to be a quality leading National League defender, and yeah, he will be absolutely perfect and will definitely help with the quality that we've got at the back. So we don't want Lewis Cass. Who is Lewis Cass? No. So Kane Sykes steps up as the best defender. In fact, him and Burton might be a pretty good pairing. Obviously, Leckie and Leake are still going to play, but that gives us 3-star centre-back, which I feel a hell of a lot better about. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to try and get him up. I mean, this is so annoying when you've got to get above all the trialists. But that makes me feel a little bit better that we've got Kane Sykes through the door. Lewis Cass is just desperate to be one of our better centre-backs, isn't he? Get out there. And I guess at left-back, Kieran Burton, as we say, can play there. He might have to be our starting left-back. Right-back, though, is still a place where we are very much struggling. Can I make that adjustment now? Yes, I can. Thank the Lord. So now we've got so much wage budget to play with, which I'm hoping will allow us to sign Gatow in from loan if he wishes to come. But that's going to have to wait, because we're here for the opening day of the season. So I'm going to put the team together, show you guys the season preview, and yeah, have a little overview of the transfer window and just like that, we're ready to go again. Okay, so here's what the team, I think the best team, will look like heading into the season. There's still glaring areas where we need to improve, but we've got ourselves a National League quality goalkeeper. George Shelby is obviously going to be in goal, and we've got Theo Avery to be his backup, who's a very exciting talent. So the back four, we've got Jimmy Sinclair at right back, 2 stars. Obviously a player for the future. We are wanting to bring Gatau in as the first choice right back, and he would transform our right back and our defence essentially if we could have him there and Sinclair as the backup. Delighted though that we've got Kane Sykes in as a centre back. He's 3.5 star at cover alongside Tom Leake, who did come to us in the office and say he wants to play more. We promised him we would give him a chance, so he's got the shirt over Jack Leckie at the moment, and it's up to him to see if he can keep it. Best left back we've got is Kieran Burton on the left. He's not naturally a full back in terms of going forward with the wing play system, so we are wanting to replace him with a more, wing play like left back, but he can offer us something going down that side. So yeah, 2.5 stars. He's good cover elsewhere. A good player to have, but I dare say not my number one. In terms of the centre midfielders, I do think maybe we need to improve on CJ Clark. He has been fantastic for us, and yeah, has potential. He is only 2 stars. Maybe he'll get better, but he's alongside Thomas Hill, our new signing, of course, who is very, very versatile. Caden Kelly is up in front of him. The wingers, of course, as we know from last season, in fact, the front 3 last season were outstanding, and they're going to remain as is. Spellman, Green, and Max Thompson up front, who is still 4 stars at this level. And the bench, we've got Burko, who is cover at left back, of course. Jack Leckie is there as cover at centre back. Ben Little for the midfield. Very excited to see Marco Romano get into the team. I have a feeling once he's in the team, he might stay there ahead of Green. I honestly believe that. And then Isaac Fletcher, of course, who come in from Boro, who can compete with Kelly in the middle. And Josh Hines, who very much is going to be competition for Max Thompson and a target man for if we need to be offered something different. We've still got backup goalkeeper Harry Wright's in there, a couple of youngsters, CD Sinion's still here, Chris Prince is still here. Well, that pretty much is the squad. Let's have a little look then at the season preview. I've not looked at this yet. So we are 20th at the moment. So we're not actually favourites to get relegated. I believe there are 4 teams who get relegated in the National League. So yeah, we're just outside of that, which I'll take. Given we're newly promoted and we weren't expected to be here, I'll take that. So alongside us is Ebbsfleet, who I believe come up from the National League South. So they've come up sort of alongside us. They're equally sort of in and around where we are, but Altrincham, Scarborough and Eastleigh are actually favourites to go down below us, which I find rather interesting given the fact that Scarborough come up before us the season before and they're fancied to go down more than we are, which is interesting. But 20th, I'll take that. Other promoted sides, Boro, don't know where they fared in terms of the National League South. Oh no, they've come down from League 2. Did I mistaken a P for an R? I did. They've been relegated from League 2. So the 2 relegated sides, do forgive me, it's my stigmatism, Gateshead and Boro aren't favourites to go back up. The 2 teams who've come down are actually favourites to struggle, which I find really intriguing, Gateshead and Boro. South Shields, who obviously come up from our division, are favourites to be in and around mid-table, which I think is a fair reflection, whereas Southend, who come up from the south, of course, blew that league away, are favourites to pretty much get into the playoffs. You've got Chesterfield, who've got Harry Toffolo? What? How have they pulled that off? Harry Toffolo, who was instrumental in getting Huddersfield to playoff final, played for Forest in the Premier League, went straight to the National League? What? I mean, that's insane. But okay, Fylde, Oldham expected to be up there, Southend as well. Of course, Southend have just come up from the National League South, as we well know. So yeah, Hartlepool in there, 10th. It's going to be interesting to play them, and that leads me on to where we go next, and that is the opening 2 games of the season. We start off at home to Wealdstone. Not too sure if and where they're fancied. Didn't see them. Maybe they're a mid-table team. And then we head to Hartlepool, which is the game I've been looking forward to since joining Darlington. The hope is that we can get up and play Hartlepool because we are their fierce local rivals. And growing up in the area, I can vouch for the fact that Darlington, Hartlepool, it's a derby. And they're two teams I followed alongside Boro as a kid, never supported but followed, and to see them playing up against one another again is very, very exciting. So we're going to play the two of them in the next episode. We'll see where we go from there in terms of the other fixtures and where the league table ends up. But in terms of key games, we have Hartlepool on Boxing Day, which could be a cracker, with Boro, of course, on New Year's Day. And then we play Oldham on the final day. So some very, very juicy fixtures. And it all starts in the next episode with Wealdstone and Hartlepool in the opening two games. But as we know, the only players we went through at the start of the episode, the two players who we've sold, or got rid of at least, Tommy Taylor's left, of course, on a free, and James Harvey, which was sad, but two players who we've happily replaced and had depth to replace, so that's fine. And we spent 2.6k, so free transfers. Romano from Genoa, very excited for him. Josh Hines, our only purchase, 2.6k. Avery, a great backup goalkeeper for free. Fletcher, of course, in midfield. Burton at left and centre back. Jimmy Sinclair at right back. Burko at cover for left back. And Sykes at centre back. So, yeah, happy days. It's been a decent window with the players we've managed to bring in. Sykes is a big one, but we definitely need to do a bit more business throughout the season. But as I said, if you've enjoyed this video, guys, do hit the like button and subscribe for much more. We'll be back tomorrow for the start of the National League campaign. Do, of course, hit the bell too so you never miss an upload of either this or my other career mode we've got going on FM, which, of course, is my Project Boro career mode, where we are now in the Premier League. But, yeah, leave me a comment below with any suggestions you've got and sharing your excitement heading into the season. But until next time, guys, a big thank you for watching. Do take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.